Welcome to another Hbar update. Thank you for the continued support on the channel. If you're new around here, in the last update, I made everyone aware that due to moving up into this 147, 1414 area, 33 to 36 cent, Hbar had come into a very key level of resistance. It's a target out of the Fibonacci's. Once it broken this high that was set in April 2024, these are its first set of targets. This whole area between 27 and 44, or let's just call it 45, is your target. And from here, we're expecting it to slow down. We were given more specific area between 33 and 36. So we can also see at the very first rejection, there was a key level of support being used, 25 to 27 cent. Now, I did just freshen up the chart, but I had drawn out all these levels in the last Hbar update. So if you want to go revert back to that, you can, of course, just to confirm these are all the same. But I will tell you what needs to happen going forward. It's quite funny that today's liquidation event, which saw the biggest in crypto history, or at least since COVID, might be the biggest in history, over 8 to 10 billion liquidated. That's what leverage, of course, can do. It's the quickest way to lose money. And I unfortunately think at the moment, the bounces that we're seeing across the market could be propped up by leverage once again. Why is that negative? Look at the bounce, 43%. I hope I'm totally wrong, because I'm a person that DCA'd today, not into Hbar, but I DCA'd other projects today. So of course, a lot of people would just be thinking to do the same thing. But I know, of course, a whole bunch of us would have been leverage trading as well. And that's just propping the market more than what it actually really is, because we're borrowing money when we're using leverage. And the risk is that, although we've seen an almost 50% bounce, that we're just now moving into a key level of resistance. So this was once support, 25, 27. If you were following me in my past updates, we were actually saying that this is what needs to hold to make higher highs above 44 cent and maybe get up as high as 70, 80 cent, a new all-time high. And it's vital for 25 to 27 to hold for that to be the case. So now let's reclaim 27. The risk is, are we moving back into this as resistance to head lower? I think if you've tuned in to my Bitcoin update today, you'd already know what I'm about to say. If you haven't, do please go ahead and follow them if you have some spare time after this update, and on a daily basis whenever they do come out. So turn on that notification bell on if you could. Now, Bitcoin needs to tackle 100K. And if it fails to actually reclaim that, then we could roll over as early as where we are right now currently. I'm going to now play some new Fibonacci's due to the dump that we've seen over the past couple of weeks, and of course the capitulation candle from earlier today. We've now been given a new Fibonacci area. It's actually hilarious that the ultimate level of resistance is the same levels, 33 to 36 cent. It's just showing you how important learning the fibs are. And if you are interested in doing so, having a smooth experience with them, you pretty much will know any direction the market is going in. There are certain levels that need to hold in order to keep a certain bias, and that changes when certain levels are broken. And so your bias changes immediately as well. Of course, there's a format to it. There's a path that is expected out of certain levels holding and breaking. So yeah, just use the links in the description, whether you want to learn it through the book, the ebook, the one-to-one lessons, or the Discord community. Links down below. But ultimately, we need to see 33 to 36 broken if we ever want to see these higher price targets. Now, even higher than what I was mentioning previously, to 90 to $1.25. That would be incredible. Huge move up from here if that's to be the case. And if the Fibonacci's are calling for that, if the Fibonacci's are showing these levels, and now zooming out a little bit more, noticing that my macro fib has already shown those higher up targets. This new dump that's only happened since halfway through the month of January has also, with the micro fib now, lined up with the more macro one. So short-term and long-term targets now acting as confluence with each other. So multiple things pointing in the same location, in the same target area. So what am I getting at? 78 to $1.44 is the target for Hbar getting out of this dip. But please do remember, if Bitcoin fails to reclaim 100K, and even if it did, if it fails to reclaim 106, 108, then we can still roll over, guys, and fill in this wick. And that could even be the case if Hbar pushed into this area. Can, of course, find support here. It can move into there and find support within there and continue higher. That's what we want to see. The issue is that it could still develop and roll over and fill in this wick. So we just need to be aware of that. Even with that potentially still, you know, the probabilities of the bearish case still being there, still being quite high. I've DCA'd, even with that potentially still eventually being the case. It's exciting to see such a great move from the lows. Euphoric, of course, because we wanted to continue. But the reality is there will be a moment this pump from the lows stops. Could be as early as 29.30 cent. Could be the highest level of resistance, 33 to 36. And we can still roll over. We want the green box to hold 25 to 27 to send us to the higher price targets. But yes, it can lose again and we fill in that wick. So that is it from me today. I will update you as it develops. I just need to make you aware of all these scenarios. We know what we want to see. This key area broken. We have even more confluence after this dump that we've seen in the past couple of weeks, as well as this capitulation event today. It's brought us a new set of fibs that line up with more macro fibs. So yeah, just solidifying these targets in the future. It's just, are we going to dip down a little bit more first? Pump a little bit more and then roll over before getting up there? Will we continue the trend down a little bit before getting up there? Will this now be the actual bottom? Do we see 25 and 27 holding, reclaiming 33 and 36 and breaking higher? So you know all these different paths now that will be triggered when these certain levels are broken. So immediately after breaking 36, bullish, expecting those higher price targets. Right now, DCA, even though it's potentially bearish, because this is just a short-term bounce to roll over and continue low. You know, that is, to be honest, one of the higher probabilities. Of course, we know what we want to see. Break that red box and we're good. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will, of course, update as it develops. Follow me on all social media platforms. You can see the Twitter in the bottom left corner. I recommend you to follow me there. Of course, doing more updates there. It's easier to send a quick message, but I'm in the Discord on a daily basis, morning, day and night, on a weekly basis, also doing live streams in there, teaching you how to read the charts. And yeah, I'll see you over in the Discord, links down below.